Hi, this is Tanee McCall-Short here for The End Again. Log on to Openended.com to find out more about the film, and you can find us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram as well. And you're watching MadameNoire. Was The End Again inspired by anything going on in my relationship? No, it was a completely separate entity. It was a project that was already in the works. An amazing writer, Felicia Pride, wrote it, and she did a phenomenal job. I mean, it's something that could be written for any race, which is what attracted me to it. I get a lot of scripts where it's like girl and little and just ebonics, and that's fine, but that seems like all we get. And it was colorless, like a Shonda Rhimes script. And to be able to play a character that, Jane, she could have been, Caucasian, Hispanic, Asian, it didn't matter. She was just a person with a soul, and it stood on its own, yeah. Are Columbus and I planning on working together in the full feature? There's been no discussion or talks about that at this point, no.
Huh?
We grew apart.
We grew apart. No, what really happened here?
I don't know.
I don't know. Wow. That's the realest shit you said all year.
What couples can learn from The End Again, it's interesting because in the script, if you actually, dissect it, I think there's probably about like 7, 8, 9 lines. There's not a lot of dialogue. It's all basically action. Actions speak louder than words. So most of it is in the silence, in the in-between. And I think a lot of couples could take away, a better way to communicate with one another. There's a lot of silence and just disconnect in people in general nowadays. I don't know if it's social media or the technology or the internet, but there's a disconnect, I feel like, not just between men and women, but just people. Timing is everything, and I think that for those who haven't watched it, I don't want to give away the ending, but there was things that could have been said in that full moment that were not said, and it could have potentially, I think, saved the relationship, but I think people are too afraid to expose their fears and their hurts and their true feelings. So I think couples could take away a better way of communicating and a better way of just being open with one another and being vulnerable. The difference between me and Jane, well, you know what? I've kind of grown more into Jane. When I shot it, we shot it back in January, in the beginning of the year. I remember reading it and envying her in a way of her strength and her fearlessness. She saw that the relationship wasn't serving her anymore, and that the situation that she was in, she had kind of outgrown. And when she felt that, she moved and she packed up and she was ready to for that next step. And I think I used to live in a lot of fear and doubt and worry, and it kept me stagnant. And so now I feel like I'm so much more like her than I was then, and I really took away a lot of strength from her. I think Columbus denying the abuse allegations. What do I think? Honestly, I don't think about it. When I wake up, it's like my daughter needs cereal or waffles, or I think about how I'm gonna pay my bills. I have like 6 jobs I'm working. How am I gonna make ends meet? Am I serving God's purpose here on earth? What am I doing with my life? What's happening? Like, those are the things that go through my head. I've found that when I start thinking for other people or putting myself in their head and asking why, it leaves me in a very stagnant place in my life, and I'm in a season of growth. So I don't focus. I send love to him, but I don't think about him. My thoughts on the video that surfaced was that it was very hurtful. It's hurtful to see, like when I see that, I just see a very hurt woman.
Low red bitch. You low red bitch.
And it's a shame that that was what was perpetuated, because that's such a departure from who I am. I'm just a lover and try to spread love and light throughout. And so to have sort of this reality television clip of me in my home in my pajamas barefoot 3:30 in the morning was you know, it stung. I work with women and try to empower them, work with young girls in the arts, teaching them dance in my church and things like that. And I was really, I felt ashamed that, oh gosh, now no one's gonna wanna drop their little daughter off to me, or no one's gonna wanna learn anything from me. But I've actually found the opposite, that, I've received a lot of love from that. And I think on a scale like being an actress in Hollywood, it's unfortunate that that was what was perpetuated, because that seems to be kind of the only thing that they represent, for us, is that we're angry and violent and mad, and we're not. Women that I meet and that I'm friends with, we are joyous women. We are not gold diggers. We're not all these stereotypes that you hear all the time. We're not that. We're hardworking working women, and we're doing the best that we can. And I would hope that as many people who watch that would, partake in watching The End Again, because that is more a realistic depiction of, what the, female African American life is about. We're trying to learn how to juggle career and family and men and figure out our place in the world. So you got like 10% of a full scope of what it was. And, I hope that people, if that's what intrigued them about me, I hope that you can dig a little deeper and see, the real Tanee.